JoJos is back, as the Steel Ball Run trailer has finally dropped. There is so much to dig into with this 2-minute long trailer, as we get new character designs, incredible new sound effects, with some even returning from previous parts, a set release date, and of course more of an indication as to whether the animation will do this part the justice it deserves. So, after watching this trailer a couple times, I can say with absolute confidence that it has squashed any worries or doubt I had from the previous teaser. Every single character and shot in this trailer looks absolutely incredible, and I just can't believe I'm watching Steel Ball Run animated. But I'd like to quickly focus on the shots of Gyro in particular, as at first I was a bit iffy on how he looked in the earlier reveals. This trailer, however, has completely shifted my perspective, as every shot we see of him just looks magnificent. However, this shot here has to be my favorite of them all, as I love how they imitated the hatching in the manga. Speaking of Gyro, I'm loving how the spin technique looks visually as well. To tie the technique back to Hamon in part 1, they even emit the same visual ripple effect. Every single shot of the spin we get in this trailer looks so clean. I had some level of expectation set before watching this trailer, but how David Production have adapted the spin just completely exceeds these expectations, as combining the spin with the previous visuals of Hamon just makes this perfect. The sound design work here is also exceptional, and they even mix in the old sound effects from part 1, which is just icing on the cake. I can't wait to hear more of the sound design when the episodes drop, because part after part, David Production just provides some of the best sound design in anime. Speaking of which, we also got a confirmed release date, and yes, it actually is the date that got leaked a few weeks ago. The first 47-minute long episode will premiere on March the 19th on Netflix, covering the entire first stage of the race. But there's still one more big question up in the air. Will it be a batch release or a weekly episode release, or maybe neither, as they've only said one episode is coming out on the 19th, so Netflix could be doing a hybrid batch weekly release where they gradually drop episodes throughout the year corresponding to the stages of the race. So for example, in March we get stage 1, then maybe in the next month we get stage 2, and so on. But that's just my interpretation, as keep in mind nothing's been confirmed yet, and it's still really up to Netflix to decide for next year. Although I really hope it is a weekly release, because as a content creator, I don't know if it's humanly possible to produce 10 episode breakdowns in one day. Also, dropping episodes on a week-to-week basis keeps hype alive for the show, and overall just gives it a lot more attention. New character designs were also revealed in this trailer, giving us our first look at Sandman and Pocoloco. Both Sandman and Pocoloco share identical color schemes from the Shueisha manga colorings, and I just absolutely love how Sandman looks. We also get to see a bunch of Pocoloco in action, and based on a few interviews within the production, it's said that Pocoloco may even get some additional scenes in this first stage, which is always nice to see. Sandman's going to be voiced by Masaki Mizunaka, and Pocoloco will be voiced by Kenichiro Matsuda. And speaking of voice actors, I wasn't really sold on Gyro's voice in the first teaser. However, hearing him more and more in this trailer, the voice is really starting to grow on me. I think one of the partial reasons why it's taken me so long to adapt to these new voices is because I'm so used to the voices of Johnny and Gyro in the different video game adaptations, as I just thought those voices perfectly matched the characters. But I'd say as I watch more and more of these episodes next year, all the different voices would start to grow on me. We still haven't seen characters like Mountain Tim or Dot Han as of yet, or even any of the minor villains that appear in the earlier arcs, and additionally the main villain wasn't revealed for obvious reasons. The animation in this trailer looks absolutely amazing as well. In the previous teaser there were a few rough bits here and there, but this trailer has blown my expectations, as the horses and racing scenes are just so smooth. And just for the anime release of Steel Ball Run, they're also going to be reordering the pacing of the first arc, meaning that the part may not actually start with Sandman's introduction, but may instead focus on Johnny and his backstory, and try and set up the whole narrative of the race as soon as possible. We also get to hear more of the soundtrack play in the background, along with an extended version of the main theme we heard in the previous teaser, and so far I'm absolutely loving the soundtrack. I don't think there's been a single JoJo's part where the soundtrack didn't absolutely slap, so I have no doubt in Yugo Kanno's ability to deliver here. A few months ago the production team said that the music for this part will be a soundtrack you can dance to, and this trailer really makes that evident. This trailer showcases so much more of the racing scenes, and seeing Johnny, Diego, Pocoloco, and Sandman all race together just looks so sick. I'd also like to touch on a problem I addressed with the previous teaser, saying how the color grading was really oversaturated. However, I think that was just an issue with the select few shots shown in the previous teaser, as this trailer shows so many more different dramatic color shifts, so I no longer think the oversaturated color palette will really be that much of an issue, especially because of the fact that we're going to be going into arcs like the Rocky Mountains or in through Devil's Palms, as due to the setting the different colors will have to change anyway. I would have liked to have seen a bit more of Dio in this trailer, but we do get to see him using his jockey expertise as he darts through a crowd of horses. Steel Ball Run is also getting a lot more promotion than the previous parts, as thinking back to when Stone Ocean was released, I don't remember this much merchandise being sent out, as we're getting things like Nendroid figures, Super Action statue figures, and on top of all this, Steel Ball Run's even going to have an anime booth at Jump Festa 2026, in which this new poster was revealed, giving us a much more detailed rendering of Johnny and Gyro. I also think it's a really nice touch how they borrowed the background from one of the manga covers. So with this new trailer, my expectations for the part are now through the ceiling. I cannot wait to see all the non-manga readers react to this part for the first time. If you want to keep up to date on all Steel Ball Run news, be sure to subscribe to the channel, as only a very small percent of you guys are actually subscribed. Let me know all your thoughts on this trailer down in the comments below, and be sure to tell me which voice actor is your favorite so far. In my opinion, I think Steven Steele's voice actor matches his character the best, even though he was previously Avdol's voice actor too. Thank you guys so much for watching. March 2026 cannot come soon enough.